Unfortunately, no one can be told what the Matrix is. You have to see it for yourself.
Are a toy!
Yeah, baby!
Here is the path to the dark side.
You are here for me to enlighten you.
I wouldn't say I've been missing it, Bob.
And one time, at band camp,
I see dead people.
First rule of Fight Club is you do not talk about Fight Club.
If I don't make it out of here, don't put me down for mummification.
But I don't want your life.
Hello.
I hate the way you talk to me and the way you cut your hair. I'm also just a girl standing in front of a boy.
I know Kung Fu.
Welcome to 1999, the podcast. I'm John Brooks.
And I'm Julia Sermons.
And in this episode, we're bringing you a see also to our last episode, following up on Paul Thomas Anderson's Magnolia with the movie that was Paul Thomas Anderson's follow-up to Magnolia, arriving 3 years after its predecessor in November of 2002, and almost exactly half its length at 95 minutes. It stars Adam Sandler, Emily Watson, Mary Lynn Rashkub, Louis Guzman, Philip Seymour Hoffman, and Triumph the Insult Comic Dog himself, Robert Smigel, written and directed by Anderson, and with the score by John Bryan. In this episode, we are discussing Punch Drunk Love.
I wanted to ask you something because you're a doctor, right?
Yeah.
I don't like myself sometimes. Can you help me?
Barry, I'm a dentist.
Hi, this is Georgia.
This is Barry Egan.
So what do you do, Barry?
I have my own business. We have a non-breakable handle. Let me demonstrate for you.
You're married, aren't you?
No.
Barry, that's your sister.
There's this friend of mine from work, and I want you to meet her. This is Lena.
Hi.
Hi.
Do you have a girlfriend?
No.
It must be weird for you to have so many sisters.
Actually, no. It's very nice.
All right. Remember we used to call you gay boy and get all mad?
What's that?
We were calling you gay boy and you got so mad. I saw your picture and I really wanted to meet you.
What are you lying?
No. I didn't want to get too far along on going out and be hiding something.
This is Barry.
Hey, it's Georgia.
How did you get this number?
I was wondering if maybe you could help me out with some money.
Yeah, no. I'm sorry.
You've just made a war for yourself that you can't afford.
I'm going to Hawaii on Friday.
Hawaii? I was thinking about going there.
Really?
I'm going to start a collection of puddings and coupons that can be redeemed for frequent flyer miles.
That's insane.
This is Barry.
You canceled your credit card.
That's a bunch of bull! Get your supervisor on the phone!
Yeah.
What's your name, sir? You're sick.
No.
Shut up! Shut up! Shut up! Are you threatening me?
Yes.
That wasn't good! You're dead! Ow!
and all at once I knew at once, I knew it needed me.
I have so much strength in me, you have no idea.
The day I died, I wonder why, I knew he needed me.
I have a love in my life. It makes me stronger than anything you can imagine.
He needs me, 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 he needs me.
So what is Punch Drunk Love about, Julia?
Barry Egan, played by Adam Sandler, riffing on his usual man-child persona, is a small-time novelty product salesman in Los Angeles. Barry is slowly losing his mind. He has seven chatty and meddling sisters, crippling social anxiety, and a suppressed rage that periodically expresses itself by smashing things. In a moment of profound loneliness, Barry calls a phone sex line. The operation is a scam run by a mattress salesman in Utah named Dean Trumbull, played by Philip Seymour Hoffman. Dean promptly begins extorting Barry. Meanwhile, Barry's sister sets him up with her friend Lena, played by Emily Watson, who is inexplicably infatuated with Barry. Barry, being Barry, nearly torpedoes this several times. The extortion plot escalates, and four blonde brothers in a minivan beat Barry up. Barry flies to Hawaii to find Lena, and after some serial killery sexy talk, they hook up. Barry drives to Utah to have a very pointed conversation with Dean. It goes badly for Dean, and Barry returns to Lena. He has found in her the one person his chaos doesn't frighten away.
And they all live happily ever after. Punch Drunk Love just barely broke even at the box office, grossing $25 million worldwide on a budget of the same amount. It has a Rotten Tomatoes score of 79, which is one of his lowest, alongside Inherent Vice, and is tied for his 3 lowest Metacritic scores at 78, alongside Magnolia and his debut Hard 8. But it's also undergone a major reevaluation since its release, landing on many best of the 21st century lists in recent years. It's also been cited as a favorite film by the likes of filmmakers Francis Ford Coppola, Judd Apatow, Miranda July, Bong Joon-ho, David Gordon Green, Guillermo del Toro, Jason Reitman, Barry Jenkins, and Taika Waititi. Among its strongest reviews at the time came from Slate's David Edelstein, who wrote, quote, "It's a testament to Anderson's feelers that he has not only picked up on the passive-aggressive element in Sandler's personality, but has constructed a romantic comedy around it. No, more of a romantic comic suite. What do you call Punch Drunk Love? It's not a musical because no one sings or dances, but it has the surreal delirium and the MGM Technicolor hues, airy compositions, and stylized decor of the great movie musicals. The alternately percussive and swooping music by the brilliant John Bryan underlines much of its moods in turn: anger, longing, and ecstasy. At its heart, the story is boy meets girl simple, but the movie is so full of lurches and discordances and flabbergasting non sequiturs that at times it's like an avant-garde dance theater piece with injections of Saturday Night Live. I imagine that many will find it arch and, on a narrative level, as bumptiously withholding as its protagonist. I found it exquisite." But its worst review came from the New York Post's Lou Lemonick, who wrote, quote, "Essentially a weird series of non sequiturs. I'd rather be watching a sequel to the much maligned Little Nicky, a Sandler film that was at least trying to do something interesting, than this failed experiment in fusing high and low culture." Lou, I don't know, man.
Yeah, I mean, this movie, I guess we can go dig into Sandler's performance, but it really made me want to put the top of my to watch list Uncut Gems, because I haven't seen it yet, but I feel like I really like seeing Sandler like use his energy in these different ways. Like that was really interesting part of the movie for me, and it made me want to see more of that.
Yeah. Uncut Gems is great, and he's great. I mean, it's weird because I kept thinking about how I think about a lot of in terms of like Adam Sandler and in terms of Paul Thomas Anderson when I was watching this movie that I didn't think about when I first saw it. Mostly because when I first saw it, it was like, it was only the 4th Anderson movie, right? And so sort of thinking about it in terms of his oeuvre, it was much more pronounced this time around, but I'll get to that later on. But with Adam Sandler, I was thinking about what Holly said about Tom Cruise last time when we were talking about Magnolia, and the way that after Magnolia, like Tom Cruise never really became like the actor that this movie sort of promised, and if he'd like been nominated for the Academy or like won the Academy Award, right? Then, maybe there's a different trajectory. Whereas here, like something is discovered in Adam Sandler that I think Paul Thomas Anderson obviously always knew was there. And he talks about that quite eloquently, but like that he didn't not follow up on. He just also kept making like Grown Ups 2 and shit like that at the same time. So it's like, clearly Adam Sandler like loves making Adam Sandler movies, but also I think there's something that I really do think that Paul Thomas Anderson like recognized an actor in him that he never recognized, maybe, and that like I kind of taps into that in some of the more dramatic roles that he's taken on in the years since.
Yeah, and I mean, like Netflix will keep paying him bajillions of dollars to make as many Happy Gilmore sequels as he wants, for the like millennial dads who are stuck at home on an evening and need to regress. Like he's going to get piles of money for that for years and years and years. So, I mean, I think at a certain point it is really a question of, does he want to do something else? Because like he clearly, like, you can work with his face and his persona and his comedic tics.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't even know if it's quite the right thing to say that they're toned down in this movie, but they're like put in a different context almost, or like, framed differently in a way that really can be something kind of like darker and more moving at the same time.
Yeah, I mean, I do think that. Yeah, I think that it's framed differently is right. For instance, like the scene where he starts just breaking all of the windows in his sister's house is both really funny, but also very depressing and shocking at the same time, and like disturbing. But is very much using like Adam Sandler's sort of like rage shtick that he normally does in a way that creates a completely different kind of an effect. And he's not really doing anything differently than he normally does. It just is like, it seems to me that, and again, I think this is something that Paul Thomas Anderson has kind of said, right, about his love of Adam Sandler, that there's like more going on beneath the surface of his comedy than, pixels. And like, I'm just going to start naming Adam Sandler movies that I know. Billy Madison kind of led on in their material. But I think he's right. And I mean, there's, if you were alive in the 90s, right, like Adam Sandler was SNL. Like he was the biggest star of SNL. Like, and I don't think there's really been anybody who's like been quite as the main character of SNL as Adam Sandler was in the 90s. And there's something like really interesting about his comedy that was different and really was kind of groundbreaking at the time, that you really kind of see like what the kind of empathy that kind of underlies it, what that is in this performance, right? Like the humanity of it, like, is what comes to the surface here.
Yeah, and this is like such a cliche, but the way comedy and like for comedians, rage is kind of just always simmering there underneath.
Mm-hmm.
I think, like the ways he the ways rage kind of like seems to like turn on a dime and come from nowhere, where the like like the smashing up the restaurant bathroom scene is just like incredible. And then the like this is like attempts to totally deny that he's done it. He's so busted.
Hello.
Hi.
Can I talk to you, sir?
Why?
Just need you for a second, please.
Okay.
Sir, the bathroom was just torn apart.
Yeah.
Did you do it?
No.
You didn't just smash up the bathroom?
No.
Well, who did?
I don't know.
Sir, your hand is bleeding.
I cut myself.
How?
On my knife. What? What?
Sir, your hand is bleeding.
I know.
I'm gonna have to ask you to leave.
Yeah, but I didn't do anything.
Sir, I've got no way to prove that you smashed up the bathroom.
I didn't do that. I didn't.
Look, I'm gonna have to ask you to go.
Okay. I didn't do that.
I'm gonna have to ask you to leave.
All right, please don't do this to me.
Sir, I'm gonna call the police.
All right. Can I just stay?
Sir, I'm gonna crack your fucking head open. Get out of here.
We should go. I don't like it here. Okay.
Okay.
Thank you.
Is like
That
it's so
seems
funny. But I think like I said in the summary, I think the like man-childy parts of his persona like work really well here for someone who like I think we're meant to feel I think I don't know if Anderson cares that much about the label, but I do think like somewhere on the spectrum, right, the character is sort of portrayed as. Or do you not agree with that?
I don't know if it's on the spectrum. I don't know. Yeah. Why do you say that? Because like that's an interesting read. I don't know that I read it that way.
I think just like the confusion with the way the world works, like him expecting that the phone sex operators are going to use confidentiality in their services, and then like just like that he like expects there to be like customer service at the phone sex line, and that he can like speak to a manager. Which I guess it turns out he can, right? But like just the idea that like people are going to behave with fairness and follow rules even in weird situations, and like him having a set of rules that don't always map onto reality. And then I think the kind of obsessive nature of the trying to scam the healthy choice frequent flyer miles
based on a true story, apparently, by the way.
Like,
did you know that?
And just like, no, I did not.
Yeah.
I hadn't thought about healthy choice for a while. That was a really 90s thing. Yeah, but just like finding a loophole and trying to exploit it, and ending up with like a pallet of pudding on your in your office, like that seemed like a little bit like we were to take to I don't know, maybe it's just a modern sensibility I'm pasting onto this movie, but those kind of little character traits made me think, is that what we're supposed to think is going on here?
Yeah, I mean, to me, like, I don't know, I didn't really think about it that hard, because I thought that the implication, or sort of like what Paul Thomas Anderson's doing with that, is playing with the idea of Adam Sandler's sort of like man-child character, and seeing it from a different perspective of like a very naive man in the world, and his naivety coming from the fact that he's been like relentlessly bullied by his sisters his entire life.
So awful.
So like the whole like, remember when we called you gay boy? Remember that? Gay boy? Remember gay boy? And he's like, and Marilyn Rushcube is so good in the way that she just like fires off these lines as though he's like not even there, and like not even waiting for him to respond. And yeah, I just got the sense that he's been so like beat down by his kind of upbringing, whatever that is, and like that's why he's so naive, that he's been sort of like both abused but then also sort of like, mothered by his unrelenting sisters. But that gives him a way of kind of exploring the Adam Sandler man-child character from like a very different point of view. I definitely get the sense that he is like, if not bipolar, something along those lines. Like there definitely is the implication of some kind of mental health issue that is clinical and like not addressed.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. I don't know if I ever got the idea that it was meant to be sort of like on the spectrum, but maybe. I don't know. I don't know. It's weird.
I love a bit like in the dinner party scene where he's coming in and he opens the door, and he hears like, remember when we used to call him gay boy? And he like he like tries to like close the door and step out of the house. He like walks in with the pastries, backs up with the pastries.
Yeah, there's so many, like what I find kind of miraculous about this movie is that the whole thing like should make me unrelentingly uncomfortable. Like it should be the worst 95 minutes of anybody's life, but like there's just something that moves so quickly about it, and it's so engrossing that it never becomes like, I don't know. It feels like it's a movie that is trying very much to make you feel like you are in crisis while you're watching it. And it does a very good job of sort of like presenting that mood, but then also somehow presenting it in a way where you're like, you don't want to take your eyes off of it. And it also just feels very warm. It's kind of miraculous, like the way that it plays both of those moods so effectively for like 95 straight minutes.
Because you have this like Coen Brothers like phone sex line scam extortion ring plot going on, and then you have these scenes that are like very much about Barry's anxiety and, you know, his experience and like tension building up and fear building up and all these things that are kind of have this more kind of like antic quality. And then you just do have this like kind of ode to like sweeping Hollywood, maybe 50s romances in a way that like the way these things kind of work together is really interesting. And I think, you know, like there's a way in which I think like almost all movies I go back from the 90s, and when I rewatch them today, it's like, oh, this behavior from a man that I found kind of charming or, you know, just like like just like, you know, fine like ends up looking much more disturbing in retrospect. But like it wouldn't, like that's kind of a cop out because it wouldn't work. The sweetness of the movie that is kind of like surprising wouldn't work if he were just, you know, a bit odd. And and like, you know, like the why Emily Watson is so taken with him is a bit mysterious, but I think, you know, I think that's good in a way, you know, like they're just and, you know, I do think they have really lovely chemistry together. And like, you know, it just like you see them together and it just works. And it's not, you know, it's not something that's explicable. But you see it working even as you're like also feeling very anxious and uncomfortable in some ways.
I thought a lot about the Emily Watson part this time as well. I don't think it really registered with me the first time I saw it. And again, this is like, we're talking about almost 25 years between viewings. I saw it in the theater when it came out and thought it was great. And like literally have not seen it since. And I'm really glad I rewatched it. But her sort of lack of any real character or explanation of motivation or anything else, or like your understanding of why she's in love with him, it is definitely there, but it also feels like very much deliberate. That there are really there's no character development in this movie at all. Everything is kind of projected, right? Like Philip Seymour Hoffman's very short character is like, it's all just projection of like this idea of a character, and everything's kind of ideas of characters, like Louis Guzman's character and like Marilyn Reshkub's character. Like they're very not even like two-dimensional, but like there's no sort of exploration of who they are, how they got here, or anything else, right? And I think that there's an element of that's sort of almost kind of a meta commentary on a lot of the sort of sweeping classic love stories that you're talking about, right? Where it's sort of like, it doesn't really matter. You just kind of, you have this actress in Emily Watson who understands the character enough that you get it just by watching them, and you don't really need her whole sort of backstory to justify it, right? It just sort of, it's like, it's built on the ideas of these characters. And like, yeah, Adam Sandler, his character is like actually quite dangerous. It's sort of like it's not great that he like follows her to Hawaii, but within the context of the story it is. And because it's such an insane story, that sort of thing feels lovely. But that kind of shit happens in romantic comedies all the time, and we don't ever think of it as being sort of like problematic, which I think is what's kind of interesting about what it's doing, right? Is painting the entire romantic comedy, sweeping romance genre as like kind of inherently insane. And maybe kind of toxic, right? In what happens in them.
So you're saying like all the creepy stalkerish behavior that's kind of presented as cute in your conventional rom-com is being like surfaced or exposed here? Is that am I understanding you? No, I agree. I agree.
That is what I'm saying. Yeah.
And I think like that music that follows him to Hawaii, the "He Needs Me, He Needs Me, He Needs Me" song. Like,
Yes. Yeah.
I think it's like, which does have this very like 50s quality to it. I assume it is from the 50s or.
I'm pretty sure it is. Yeah, or like the early 60s.
But yeah, it's just like he needs me, he needs me, he needs me. Isn't it great that he needs me?
Yeah. And then like the whole way that the scene where Barry, it all kind of comes together for him, and like he learns to like accept love and be in love, and then he gets superpowers and beats the fuck out of those like dudes who are trying to assault him in this like weird action sequence. All of a sudden it's like, again, that feels very much like a commentary on the sort of like absurdity of the way that, you know, these kind of traditional love stories are told. But I mean, it's also like there's a lot of like French New Wave to this movie as well, right? One movie I kept thinking of is one that you talk about all the time, which is Being There. Like this really kind of feels like Adam Sandler's Being There in a lot of ways. Like there's a lot of, you know, Peter Sellers in that movie and Adam Sandler in this movie. There's a lot of like parallels there. It definitely is like steeped in a lot of like different homages to different sort of styles and genres, and sort of, you know, a comedic actor in a very like interesting semi-dramatic performance, right? It feels as much an homage to things as it is like its own kind of unique concept.
Yeah, I think, and Emily Watson, she's just so beautiful and luminous, and just, you know, lights up the screen. And there are these moments, right? Like one, I think when they're in the car before they have the car accident, where he's looking at her and she's kind of just like bathed in this blue light, and it's just like so, you know, it is very lush and romantic in a way. And yeah, I think the whole movie is really kind of beautiful to look at in a lot of ways, that are a little bit, there are kind of unexpected or idiosyncratic moves visually, which something I associate with Anderson as well. I thought a lot about Licorice Pizza while I was watching the movie.
Yeah.
Like, and like, not even necessarily because of the weird love story, but also like the way he films people running, I feel like is similar in both movies.
Yep.
Yeah, I like that Anderson is always like trying things formally, you know, and has some flair visually.
A lot of the composition of the shots in this movie, like, could just like all of it should be hung on walls. Like a lot of it is just like beautiful works of art. I mean, just the scene, the composition of the shot, like when he's in the grocery store, and like the three different, right, like colors of frozen foods, you know, set against the like produce in the foreground. It's just like it's so beautiful, and like it's all very like the thing that I kind of, you mentioned Licorice Pizza, and the other thing that I was thinking about from like as far as that goes, and our conversation last week, is that like as an auteur, it's kind of hard to nail down like what makes Paul Thomas Anderson films, you know, Paul Thomas Anderson films. And I realized that weirdly, though it's probably his most overlooked and shortest film, I feel like you can see all his other films in this one. Like, I think pick any of his movies and there's something about this movie that is like, you can draw some kind of parallel, right? Where like, it's weirdly, it feels kind of in terms of like mood, sometimes a lot like Magnolia. There's a lot of thematic, you know, elements of Magnolia that are here. And in terms of like, the way it's driven by this like one central performance, and the music composition is very much like There Will Be Blood, and like yet getting from There Will Be Blood to Magnolia doesn't make a lot of sense. And so, like, weirdly, this feels like a movie that is kind of the connective tissue of like what Paul Thomas Anderson does as a director, which is maybe one of the reasons why it's overlooked, right? Because it's kind of, it just feels almost like a, I don't know, like a little, almost like a vanity project, but it's not.
Wait, I forget if you mentioned this, but like, it seems like Anderson decided that post Magnolia he wanted to do something like short and contained.
Yeah.
In a way, and like that's it's the tight 90, right? Like
it is.
You like put it together in 90 minutes, and I think, like we said, it's not sort of like a perfectly encapsulated movie because there are these like things going on, but it's like its economy is its brevity, I guess, is a real strength of the movie. It's amazing to me how, when you read that list, how many different directors cite this as an influence, because that's just such a wide array of different types of filmmakers who are connecting with this movie. That's so interesting.
Yeah, but I think like because it's so purely a filmmaker's movie, right? Because it's only 95 minutes, and I think because Adam Sandler is in it, that Paul Thomas Anderson was able to get away with a lot of stuff in this movie that he probably wouldn't have if he hadn't had one of the biggest, most bankable movie stars in the world at the time, and a pretty small budget, right, for a movie at the time. And so it really does. I mean, I guess that's part of the reason why as well, I feel like it works so well as kind of like the template for all his other movies, that it really does feel the most that there's nothing, I don't want to say wasted, but there's nothing here that is not like exactly what he wants it to be. Like every moment of it feels deliberate, and like because it's just 95 minutes, it just moves along without ever missing a beat. And I think that's just a difficult thing for any director to pull off, right? Like it's like perfect in the way that it's made, which I think is something that like, and also because it's a movie that references so many other styles and genres and directors and that sort of thing, that I think that's also another reason why other filmmakers kind of love it, because there's a lot to sort of immerse yourself in, right? If you're a director, I think that's probably what's going on there.
Yeah. And I like right off the bat, right, when we see the opening scene where Barry is calling Healthy Choice to see if he has indeed figured out this loophole in their frequent flyer miles scheme.
Yeah.
And he's in this blue suit, right, which we later learn he bought just because he thought he should be wearing a suit, but it's not sure why. But like there's the bottom half of the walls are also painted blue, and he just seems to, like, in his suit, like fade into the wall, you know. I think is like so telling when you to start off that way.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of like there is a lot of visual style here that's going into something like making Emily Watson just look stunningly beautiful. Yeah. And but I think a lot of the formal stuff is also about Sandler and like giving him space or the right kinds of frames to do what he does and to like help express his moods and flesh out the character in a way.
Yeah. So speaking of Healthy Choice and Adam Sandler, so two important connections beyond the Magnolia thing to 1999. This is from the Wikipedia article about the movie. It says Anderson is a fan of Sandler's comedies and said his love for his films became obsession level after seeing and enjoying Sandler's 1999 film Big Daddy, which, by the way, after 4 years, still have not talked about on this podcast. maybe we have to now. I don't know. Do we have to do Big Daddy? Do we have to talk about it?
Okay, so if we do Big Daddy,
yeah,
would the C also have to be another Adam Sandler movie? Because I think I would tap out at that point.
I don't know. I think we can just like do a bridge to that, and then and call it a day. Yeah, we're gonna have to. I mean, it's one of the top 10 grossing movies of the year, and I've been avoiding it because, as I said at the beginning of the podcast, I don't like Adam Sandler movies, and I mean like Adam Sandler movies TM, right? Not like just movies that Adam Sandler is in. I never found anything funny about Billy Madison or Happy Gilmore. Like, I'm sorry. I did like The Wedding Singer, but I feel like that is another one where he's kind of breaking from the traditional mold a little bit. And it's, a straight kind of romantic comedy. Anyway, Anderson said, he always made me laugh. He gets me. I wanted a piece of him. He specifically wrote Punch Drunk Love.
Bite his cheek.
Yeah, he wants to smash his face in with a sledgehammer. Wrote Punch Drunk Love with Sandler and Emily Watson in mind. Anderson had to convince producer Joanne Seller, who was befuddled with his desire to cast Sandler, that he was the right person for the job. Anderson took inspiration for Barry Egan's character from watching the Saturday Night Live, the Best of Adam Sandler compilation DVD, primarily with the skit The Denise Show. And I forgot about The Denise Show. As soon as I read that, I'm like, oh, that was a great sketch. And then I recognized exactly what it was that Anderson was seeing in Sandler that he harnessed so well in this movie, which is that seething rage underneath his comedy, that it can also be really weirdly I don't know, empathetic or whatever. But do you remember the Denise Show? Do you remember that sketch?
I don't. No.
Okay. So basically it's like him doing a public access call-in show called the Denise Show, which is all about his ex Denise.
And now, The Denise Show, with your host, Brian.
Hi, everybody. Welcome to The Denise Show. As you know, Denise is the girl who broke up with me 5 weeks ago. It wasn't that big a deal. She ripped open my chest and pulled out my heart. But it's fine. Everything's okay. So let's move on with the show. Looks like we got a phone call. Hello?
Brian, how you holding up, man?
I'm okay.
All right, hang in there, buddy. You the man.
Thanks. I am the man. Okay, if you're just tuning in, we're taking calls. Tonight's subject is Denise. Have you seen her? Has she said anything about me? Let's take another call. Hello?
Hey, Brian. I saw Denise at Friendly's with her parents.
The one on Central Avenue?
Oh, yeah.
Really? Did she look happy?
Yeah, I guess so.
Good. Good for her. That's great. Seriously, that's really, really good. I can't tell you how happy I am for her.
Okay, man. See you later.
Okay, good. She deserves to be happy. I'm glad. I really am. All right, now's the time in the show when I like to give Denise a call and hang up on her.
Hello?
That was great. Okay, now's about the time on the show where I lose it. And my dad calls up and yells at me. Here we go. I can't believe she did this to me. It's not fair. What did I do wrong, Denise? Just tell me and I'll stop doing it.
Hello, Brian. This is your father.
What?
What the hell's wrong with you? You're embarrassing the family.
I can't help it, Dad.
Stop it.
She was everything to me.
Stop
she was so soft.
I can't understand what you're saying. Speak English. Moron.
You don't get it, man!
Brian.
She's different! Just
Brian.
butt out!
Brian.
This is my life! You don't own me!
Okay, that was great. Tonight we have a brand new segment for our show. Let's call up the guy I heard Denise has been dating and hang up on him.
kill you.
The other is that the Healthy Choice thing also took place in 1989. David Phillips, an American civil engineer, so not a plunger engineer, but close enough, accumulated frequent flyer miles by taking advantage of a promotion by Healthy Choice Foods in 1999. While grocery shopping, he calculated that the value of mail-in promotion for frequent flyer miles exceeded the cost of the pudding in which it was offered. In May, Phillips received 1,253,000 frequent flyer miles. He is the Associate Vice President of Energy and Sustainability at the University of California today. And actually, they had to like get permission because this was such like a huge news story. At the time, they had to get permission, or they sought permission from him to use his story as part of this movie, and he gave them his blessing. So,
that's
yeah,
remarkably cool. You wouldn't necessarily think. You necessarily want to be portrayed in this way. It's a good sport.
Yeah, I don't think. I mean, I think it was just sort of like the the actual sort of like logic behind what he is doing is lifted directly from that story, and so I don't think he mind. You know that it's the same sort of end goal of getting enough frequent flyer miles to never pay for a flight ever again, which I think with 1.25 million miles, you probably are pretty good for a few years anyway. So
before, because I was wondering how Healthy Choice felt about being featured, such a featured brand in this particular context.
Right, and if it hadn't already happened in real life, there's no way they would have allowed it, right? Because like it would be so weird, but it was already like that's what they had become known for was this story. So yeah. Anyway, I love it. Do you have any favorite bits? So my favorite line in the whole movie, and I don't know why I find it so funny, but it's the scene between Sandler and Robert Smigel after he's smashed up all the windows, and he pulls him into the room and he's like, "You okay?" You know, and he's like trying to get him to. He's like, "You're a doctor. He's like, do you know anybody?" He goes, "Barry, I'm a dentist." I don't know why I love that line so much or that scene, but it fucking cracks me up.
It's a beautiful scene, right, where he's saying like, "I need help." You know,
it is. It's really lovely, and it's not like broken up by the comedy because it is. Yeah, it's very kind of moving. But the way Robert Smigel says, "Barry, I'm a dentist," is just like, it's so good. Yeah, I love that one. I love Louis Guzman in here as well. I love his like. We talked about him in The Limey, but I love his whole like. I love Louis Guzman's whole like naivete skit, like you know, sort of shtick that he does, and I think it works really well in this movie as well.
It's interesting because he's a character actor.
Yeah.
But he often plays himself in a sense. Like he plays
he does.
a version of himself that's very consistent in a lot of his movies, even though you kind of more associate that with a star persona, with a movie star than with a character actor. But he has this like very steady, mildly naive or incredulous way about him. That just
and he does a lot of great acting with his face, like the way that he just like looks at people, kind of side-eyed. In a lot of ways, he's very similar to at least like what John C. Reilly was around this time, which is a very similar sort of thing, like a character actor who often plays the same kind of almost, you know, a little bit oafish, but like very sweet and endearing, semi-naive sort of character, right? Kind of what he is in Magnolia, but like, you know, usually much smaller roles than that. But yeah. Has Louis Guzman ever starred in anything? Has he ever been like the aside from those like gambling commercials now? Has he ever been like the the
See,
Headliner.
I think if I were him and I would was offered a leading role, I would not take it because it would be like he like know thyself, like
Yeah, yeah,
um not that he doesn't have but I feel like it'd be like bad for business for him in a way if he were to take a leading role. Like if you would people would say like, "Oh, he's not a character actor anymore."
yeah, yeah.
um
He's had a pretty great career.
like
Like what he ends up in is always like a lot of fun. I'm
yeah, and it's always hits all the marks no matter
Yep,
what the
yep.
part what the movie. Was he in anything else in '99 other than Ascend the Limey? Do you know? I mean, not
He is
it's
in
2002. This is not '99. Excuse me,
right.
my brain is
No,
not
so
functioning.
he plays a character named Louis in Magnolia. Very briefly, he's one of the contestants
Oh right.
on the game
Oh, that's
show.
right.
He is in a great deleted scene in Mystery Men. I'm not sure. He might actually also be briefly in the theatrical. I don't remember if he is or not. What? Do you have any other like real highlight moments that you?
I like the end of the date scene where they say goodnight and he's like kind of kicking himself for what he said to her and for being too much of a weirdo, and then like he gets the call in the like lobby of
Yeah,
her apartment
yeah,
complex and she says like, "I wanted to kiss you," and then he runs back up and he kisses. Like, it's very sweet. It's like I think it's like kind of the epitome of what this movie does in terms of like uh being a rom-com but not a rom-com, or being like like playing with rom-com tropes in a really effective way. um so yeah, so that's one of my favorites.
that scene feels very like French farcy to me. Like the whole idea of
Mm.
like running through hallways and like ending up in the wrong place, sort of thing, right? Do you think that's intentional? Because I feel like again, I think a lot of this movie is like very French in terms of its sort of like artistic inspirations, but like when he's
New
looking at the
Wavy.
different signs and like he goes the wrong way and then like almost he winds up in the basement and like lets the emergency alarm go off and all that stuff. It reminds me of the whole thing of like going through doors in the background and
Like the ski chalet episode of Frasier.
sure. Like yakety sax is playing in the background or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I love that moment too though. Should we talk about John Bryan a little bit too?
Sure.
So I think that to me, basically this is like a three, like the ensemble cast is great, the supporting cast is great, but really like this is driven by three like performances, and those are Paul Thomas Anderson, Adam Sandler, and John Bryan. John Bryan, I feel like intentionally is as much a leading character in this movie as Adam Sandler is, because I feel like this is the way that they that Anderson and Bryan collaborated on this was very much like giving John Bryan the space to not just score the movie, but also like in real time, he was like watching scenes from it as they're filming it, and coming up with sort of musical motifs and that sort of thing. And like, you definitely won't not like you will notice the music in this. It's not one of those scores that like fades into the background. It's very prominent, and sometimes it like drives the narrative in a really interesting sort of way, but not in a way that's like distracting, in a way that it's like that's how it's meant to be, right? It's almost like a music video kind of quality to it.
So you're thinking of like a kind of like Michel Legrand kind of score? Is that what you're
Yeah,
thinking of when
yeah,
you're talking about a
yeah,
French and feeling French? Yeah, I totally
yeah.
get that. So do you think like the music is the note of irony in a way, in that like it's no, I'm sorry, I'm not expressing myself well, but like that, like having the music have that kind of like have that kind of like movie musical quality to it? Do you feel like there's like a juxtaposition between that and the what's going on visually that's interesting? Is that kind of what you were getting at, or am I just
Yeah, I think so. I mean, I think
yeah?
what David Edelstein said, right? That it feels like it's a musical, but it's not. Because no one breaks out into song and dance, but sometimes it feels so surreal and absurdist that they might as well. Like you could certainly see someone doing that in this movie, right? And like it borders on reality in such a way that you could see it. But the way that the score kind of works its way into the movie, it feels almost as though it's almost as though it's like the actors can hear it. Like that's what it feels like, right? It feels like it's actually like part of the world and part of the characterization. Especially early on as you're kind of getting to know Barry, and there's a lot of just really awkward, uncomfortable, very sort of like unstable sort of feelings that you're getting, and John Bryan's music is like very much reinforcing that and creating that sort of feel and atmosphere, right? And tone, and like the shifts in the music and the sort of like way it goes from this very kind of abstract, almost atonal, right, sort of like series of sounds into this very again like kind of accordion. I feel like accordions are in it. It might not be, but it feels like it feels like it has accordions, but very sort of like, you know, again, like French New Wave sort of feeling. It's just like it makes it a character in the movie, and I think that's really interesting.
Yeah, for sure. It is what kind of makes the movie make sense in a way.
Yeah, it's right. That's exactly right. Yeah, it's sort of without that specific score, nothing would work. You know what I mean? Like you can't just replace it with somebody else just doing some mood music in the background. It's very much involved. And I think that's something that Anderson, I mean, the same is true of There Will Be Blood, right? Like that Johnny Greenwood's score for that is very much in the same vein. And certainly we talked about, you know, the role that Amy Mann plays in Magnolia. And so yeah, I think that one of Paul Thomas Anderson's things, again, is like the way that not just music enhances a movie, but actually becomes part of the narrative in a way that is it's unique. Like I don't think a lot of major filmmakers are quite doing that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, well, certainly to have the composer on set and stuff, that seems like it would give you a really superior kind of symbiosis between sound and image that is kind of what you're hoping for in a good movie score.
Do you know what the connection between John Bryan and Paul Thomas Anderson was at the time?
They were both Adam Sandler fans?
No. So it's so John Bryan then was actually dating Mary Lynn Rashka, but he had just produced Fiona Apple's When the Pawn.
Okay.
And I think was early on in producing Extraordinary Machine, and this is when he was dating Fiona Apple. But also, like I'm sure that John Bryan and Paul Thomas Anderson knew each other before that, because John Bryan was also in the touring band for Till Tuesday, which was Amy Mann's band in like the late '80s. He played guitar on tour with them. It's like kind of wild to like look at John Bryan's whole career and realize like how much of the music that I love it's like he's been involved with somehow. Like every Elliott Smith album, like he's played on like all of Badly Drawn Boys albums. It's like he produces like Rufus Wainwright. Like it's ridiculous. So
oh wow, yeah, this is hitting a lot of pleasure centers for me too.
Yeah. Just go to his Wikipedia page and like look at the list of the stuff that he's either produced or like been involved with, and it's like, oh, this is all my music. I understand now why I was drawn to the score.
Yeah.
And that of Magnolia as well. So
when you said that you felt like Anderson was one of the three characters,
Yeah.
Were you talking about like the kind of visual stuff we were talking about earlier, or did you have something else in mind?
Yeah, no, I just mean in terms of like the way that he so obviously like directs this movie. You know what I mean? Like that it all feels very much like he's in control the entire time. It's weird because it's like it's a 95-minute movie that does not feel like it's even that long. It feels full, but also like it just moves so incredibly sort of like confidently all the way through, right? That you never forget that he's there. It all like you never forget the director is there. You know what I mean? Like he comes through in a way that I don't think he does in any of his other movies, quite so sort of consistently, right, from beginning to end.
Oh wow, okay, give that one.
That doesn't mean I think it's his best movie. Like I don't think it's his best movie, right? Like I like the messiness of Magnolia. That's a big part of the appeal for me. But like, there's no messiness here. You know what I mean? Like that's the difference, is that it just sort of feels like he's in command the entire time.
There's a kind of oddness, actually. Like I found myself thinking a little bit about Jim Jarmusch, actually, because like there's this bit where the harmonium is like dropped in his driveway, in the office driveway, and he just picks it up and kind of almost connects to it emotionally. And then like the last shot of them and their happy life together is apparently him playing the harmonium. So it just feels like a weird little detail to add. That is like doesn't need to be there, but is very like telling and resonant in some ways.
Well, in some ways, it's almost like Lynchian. Like
the
harmony, right? And like the sort of eeriness of the way that it shows up, and the way that it's like kind of menacing in the beginning. You know, it has a kind of David Lynch quality.
Yeah, well, like that car crash that we see in his Never Explained. It's kind of like the Straight Story, right? Where the woman who keeps hitting deers in her car and is freaking out. Like it's just like this like weird moment that we never revisit.
And it's also kind of like the frogs in Magnolia. You know what I mean? Like so there's that. I don't know. It's like it seems like something that he likes to just like throw in a weird, almost kind of a red herring, but like. I also think the superficiality of the harmonium is really interesting, because like it doesn't actually matter to the plot in any meaningful way, and it gets kind of shoehorned into it, which I think is also kind of him kind of making a commentary about the way that devices are used in romance movies. Like the whole story would totally work without the harmonium, but like for some reason it's in the beginning and the middle and the end. But really, like the thing that matters more is the healthy choice pudding. Like that's far more of a like meaningful object, right, in the movie than the harmonium is. But it allows them to do that like lovely little scene at the end where he's playing it and she's like, you know, what does she say at the end? What's her last line?
So here we go. Is that right?
So here we go. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Just so everybody know, I in full transparency, I had to Google it.
It doesn't really mean anything, but like it gives it this like sweetness that, you know, that doesn't really connect, but is just sort of like there.
Yeah, it's really happening. They're really Oh, I just this is maybe a little silly, but I love the lines that he speaks when he's finally like shaking or stopping the shakedown, where he talks about like I have a love in my life that makes me more powerful than you can ever imagine. Like I think once I heard that line again, like after not having seen it for 25 years, I was just like, oh, I remember that like line just like echoed so much in my mind. I was just like, oh, I remember loving that line at the time, and now it's just as strong.
I only remembered two things like vividly. I remember the basic sort of premise and plot and like a lot of the, you know, feeling, but there's two things that I remember, and one of them is actually one that you mentioned, which is the scene when he's going back to her in the apartment building, and specifically when he gets to her actual door and opens it, and she like leans out and kisses him. I remember that, and then I also remember the scene when he arrives in Hawaii, and it's all done in silhouette. I think it's just like a beautifully composed scene, because all you see is the two of them silhouette, and they start kissing, and then just like more and more people start walking in front of them. And it's just like all it is just a really beautifully shot scene. But it's stuck in my memory as kind of like the essence of the sort of vibe of the movie, which is like finding love in chaos, right? And that's what it's sort of all about.
No, I remembered that as well, actually. And then obviously the like, I want to bite you, I want to.
Oh yeah,
sledgehammer, like that stays in the mind.
I do also like the thing that I appreciated, and I think, in the absence of Philip Seymour Hoffman in the world, it is like, if you need proof that Philip Seymour Hoffman could like read a phone book and be entertaining, like this is the movie, because there is nothing to this character, and he does very little, and he's got maybe 4 minutes of screen time, but the scene when he's on the phone with Adam Sandler is so good. Like towards the end, when they're like threatening each other, it's so, the physical comedy of what he is doing there is so good.
Who's this?
Hello, sir. My name's Barry Egan. I called your service the other night.
Shut the fuck up.
Oh, what's that?
I said calm down and shut the fuck up. What's the problem?
The problem is, if you give me a chance to explain, one of your employees, that girl who I was just speaking with, has been threatening me, and 4 blonde gentlemen just attacked me and smashed my car and hurt my girl.
All right, go fuck yourself. That shit has nothing to do with me. All right, I run a legitimate business here.
Listen to me. What's your name, sir? Answer me!
What's your name, asshole?
I'm Barry Egan!
How do I know? You could be anybody,
You're
fuckhead.
a bad person. You have no right taking people's confidence in your service. You understand me, sir?
You're sick.
No.
Shut up! Shut the fuck
You have
up!
no right to take people's
Shut
trust.
up! Will you shut up? Shut up! Shut up! Shut up! Now!
Are you threatening me, Dick?
Why don't you go fuck yourself!
Oh. Fuck! Did you just say go fuck myself?
Yes, I did.
That wasn't good! You were dead!
It's so, oh man. It is proof that he can do anything and like make anything interesting, because this is just not a 3-dimensional or interesting character at all. Yeah, it's still a very memorable Philip Seymour Hoffman performance. So that's all I got. So this movie, you can watch it for free if you do one of those things where you sign up for something for a week and then cancel it on Amazon, which is what I did. So, but apparently it's going away soon. So if you want to rewatch it streaming, now is the time. Did you find any other ways of watching it aside from what I just said?
No, I don't know the witchery and sorcery involved in the dark arts of finding movies to stream.
Wait, so how did you watch it?
No, I just watched it on Amazon. But
Okay.
I'm sure there are ways of finding it that I.
So you don't have to. Okay, so here's the thing: you don't have to pay for it. What you can do is there's some weird add-on service with Amazon called Core, apparently. And if you go to Amazon and go to rent it, it will give you the option of signing up for a free trial of Core and watching it for free, and then you just cancel the thing, and then you save yourself money. It's not like that mysterious. It's not actually as witchcrafty as it sounds. It guides you through it one step at a time. But either way, it's also worth like $5. So
yeah, totally.
Yeah. So if you haven't seen it, go watch it. And cool. All right. You can find us on social media by our names and at 1999 Podcast, and email us at 1999@cageclub.me. And we'll be back soon, and I guess probably we'll talk about Big Daddy soon, because, I feel like it's time now. If you have strong opinions about Big Daddy and that I shouldn't not like it, please tell me, because I have not seen it. I've never seen it. So there you go.
Oh,
never seen
really?
Big Daddy. Yeah, I've never seen it. I know. Shameful admission. Have you've seen it?
I think I saw it when it came out. Yeah.
Yeah. See, by then I was like, I don't like this guy. So
yeah,
there you go. Yeah,
There's
I was over Adam Sandler already. So it'll be a first time for me, and I think the first movie that you have seen and I haven't. So that's even more exciting. And we'll get to that soon. All right. See you next time.